Yo.
What up? What up?
What up, man? How's your week, bro?
Dude, the week was good, man. The week was good. I've been watching the Olympics and stuff, man. I know you said you're not watching it. We'll get into that later.
I forgot that shit was on. That's a thing, bro.
Nah, man, it's been a good week, man. We on, what are we on? Episode 63?
Yep.
Welcome back, everybody. It's a Carbon Footprint Podcast. He is Juan, I'm Sean. And every week we get together, have a few drinks, and talk about things going on in the world. Try to focus on things that are making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. And this thing on the menu for today, Juan's been on a roll.
Yo, man, I'm on it.
This is delicious, man.
I'm on it. I might have a second life here as a bartender, bro.
hit the people up.
Listen, this one was pretty simple, man. We made a Kentucky Mule, right? So obviously you got to put it in the copper mug to keep that cold, like refreshing hint to it, because it does make a difference. I've tried to make them in normal glass. It's not the same.
Oh, really?
It does make a difference. But yeah, we did one shot of Woodford Reserve in this. We did squeeze in half a lime and topped it off with ginger beer and used like a mint leaf as like the mint leaf is more for the scent while you're drinking it, and but just threw a mint leaf on top, man. Just one, and it came out good. Crushed ice, people use crushed ice because then it melts slower, and the copper mug I think keeps it from melting as fast because the ice, the water with it is part of the drink. Like
okay.
it's not quote unquote like watered down. Yeah, it's actually part of it. It's a good like refreshing drink. If you like I really like whiskey and bourbon and stuff, but it's not a good like poolside drink because it's like, you know, any dark liquor is really not good to be out in the heat. But in this like format or like a mint julep,
feels like it
good.
is.
Yeah, like this is good. Or like if you do a mint julep, which we'll probably have to do here at some point. Those are good like refreshing bourbon whiskey because it's hard to get bourbon and whiskey to be refreshing, man.
And for those of you in Florida, well, shit, if you're anywhere in the U.S. right now, it's hot as hell.
It's hot, boy. Woo.
It's hot. But you know what, man? When I first took a sip of this, I thought you put like jalapenos or something in it.
Oh, so you said it had the kick.
Yeah, I was like, man, what is it? I feel like there's like a spice to it, but it's the ginger beer.
The ginger beer, man. Yeah. Which is an acquired taste. Like some people either hate or love
I like
ginger.
It.
Yeah.
But I like ginger too, so I don't.
Yeah, me too. So like I love ginger ale, and so this is like if you've never had ginger beer, think of like ginger ale on steroids. It's like the best way to describe it, man. It's like really bold. If you've ever had sushi and you get those little ginger slices, it's like eating one of those. That's what ginger beer is kind of like, but it's a good refreshing hint, man. Yeah, bro, I'm on a roll here, man. I'm telling you, we about to open up the Carbon Footprint cocktail parlor. About to have our own version of a cookbook out.
Did you take a picture?
I did. So we'll post it and we'll put the recipe up. And we'll get out there. What we did forget to bring in was the bottle of the liquor, but it's Woodford Reserve. I used the regular Woodford, nothing fancy.
But that's really good.
Yeah. Oh, Woodford's great, man.
Yeah.
Actually, man, Woodford's great, and then at the price point too. I mean, it's like. It's good by itself. It's good mix. And it's hard to find something under $30 that you could just sip.
Yeah,
Woodford you could sip, man. Like, yeah, Woodford's good, man. Like by itself. Usually if you're spending under 30 on a bottle, you're mixing that with something. And I think Woodford's right around that $30 mark, and you could drink Woodford by itself. Like it's good enough.
Yeah, no, it is good.
For sure.
All right, man. I'm gonna hit you up. My Carbon Footprint of the week goes out to Elliot Middleton. This guy is from South Carolina. And not a lot of good things come out of South Carolina.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
No, pun intended.
I was like, South Carolina.
Yeah, right? What's going on over there?
What's going on?
This guy actually, he's a former mechanic, and the guy, he actually owns a barbecue spot.
Oh,
let me see if I get this thing right. He owns Middleton and Maker Village Barbecue, and it's in, I'm going to get this wrong. Awendaw, South Carolina. Awendaw.
Sounds good enough to me.
Yeah, Awendaw, South Carolina. Anyway, that's what he does now, but he's a former mechanic. And what this guy does is on his spare time, or in his spare time, he fixes cars and he gives them away to people in need.
So how does he get? He like buys them from a junkyard or something, or gets broken down cars?
I think the way it started was he would get like either junk cars, or he would get people to like, he would trade barbecue. For he's like, oh, you got a junk car over there. Does it work? Oh no, it doesn't work. He's like, dude, I bring you over like a whole meal for you and your family. Give me the car. And some people, you know, depending on whether they were attached to it or not, or whether they're gonna do anything with it, they would do it. And so he was doing this for a while, and obviously it's in his spare time. but it caught wind, and then CBS News interviewed him. So he was actually on CBS News. I think CNN also interviewed him.
Oh wow!
And so this whole thing caught on, and so like some of the well-known newscasters, put him on Twitter and stuff like that. So this dude, he's got like from donations from around the country, like up to 800 cars. Yeah, 800 cars. Plus he did. He was trying to, because he needs money to fix this.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you can't just
right. So he did like a GoFundMe, but after going on these news shows, that people were just like, so he got 800 cars so far, and over $100,000 in donations
to fix all the
right. And so,
wow, man.
If anybody's interested, the guys, he does have a GoFundMe on Facebook. It's Middleton Village to Village Foundation, and that's all this guy does. I said he doesn't need this to live. Like, he has his little barbecue spot that he owns with a friend of his, sort of a family business.
What's the barbecue spot called?
It is called Middleton and Maker Village Barbecue.
Yo, hit that up if you guys are in that area.
Yeah, right.
Support that guy. That's exactly amazing, bro.
And then he's one of those guys, man, that you see him on the interviews, and you can, and I don't want to say you can tell, but he really seems like a good dude.
Like a genuine dude.
Like a genuinely.
There's good people out there.
Yeah, man.
There's good people. We just get lost in the shuffle because the shitty ones get the headlines, right? But there's so many good people out there, bro, doing like.
Yeah, man. So Elliot Middleton, shout out to you, man. You get my carbon footprint of the week. Keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, if anybody, you can go out to the GoFundMe page for this guy, or if you're in the area, stop by the barbecue spot, get you some barbecue.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm sure whatever supports that business, I'm sure helps him support the passion, right? The foundation. That's awesome, man. Yeah, so people are, dude. It never ceases to amaze me, man. The cool stuff that people will just do, like. Like for as much headlines as the shitty stuff gets, man, there's always a person like this that you go kind of restores your faith in humanity in a sense, where you're just like, damn, man, like that's cool. Like you said, doesn't ask for anything, just probably, whatever, came up with the idea one day and thought like, no, this would be dope. A lot of people have this. I have a skill set that I can use. I mean, that's so cool, man.
And what's cool also, man, I saw him on the interviews, like even on CNN, and they let the guy talk. You know, sometimes where they get these small segments because they're not major news, and it seems like they tell the news or the broadcaster, like, yo, you got 30 seconds with this guy.
Yeah, and they're looking for the clickbait thing, so they usually try to like coax them into saying something catchy, and that, like, yeah, it doesn't feel like they're actually trying to have a genuine conversation.
Yeah, with the person. No, but in this case, man, they let him go. Matter of fact, the one on CNN was with Cuomo.
Oh, okay, cool.
And which, love him or hate him, right? He gave him his time and let him kind of tell his story, and so
that's good too, because I have little faith in news networks. There's also so like that.
Nah, so shout out to him. That's
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to that guy, man. Yeah, normally, man, you know me, I'm an asshole, so I like to pick carbon footprints that are kind of like messed up. But I have a good one, man. I have a positive carbon footprint this week. I know, man. Listen, I might be turning a new leaf.
Press record on your tape recorder.
This may never happen again, people, because I am on the hunt for assholes weekly, usually. But dude, my carbon footprint is just like I kind of trying to think of the name of the lab, but essentially this group of neuroscientists came up with this a helmet that generates like a magnetic field, and it shrinks like deadly tumors that are in your brain. So if you have like glioblastoma, which is usually a pretty bad form of like brain cancer, brain cancer is usually terrible in general, because you have to shrink it with chemo or radiation therapy, or you have to be lucky enough that maybe they can cut some of it out, but usually depending on where in your brain it's attached, that's not an option. So usually the survival rate for brain cancer is pretty low, and then usually it's like a year or two in. But this thing, man, they had a 53-year-old patient who underwent this treatment, which he ultimately died, it said, due to an unrelated injury. But the autopsy of his brain showed that the procedure had removed 31% of the tumor mass in a short time. And that they were saying that it was directly correlated, the amount of time he wore the helmet, and how when they were doing the math kind of through scans, it's like directly correlated however long he wore it was how much it shrank. And the helmet's basically made of all these these magnets essentially, and they they go and they like rotate these magnets, and they create this like I guess this field around, and then you basically just wear it. It looks like a hard hat, and then has all these magnets, and it shrinks the brain. And I guess they had like a compassion use approval, so they can use it now, I think, as a last ditch effort on people. But this was their first test, and it shrank, and it, I mean, wildly successful, obviously, with their first
and
test.
then, unfortunately, right?
The dude died. Yeah, it said it was a completely
else.
unrelated. Yeah, whatever he died from.
That's
which
like some
shitty, man.
Final Destination
Dude,
shit.
yeah,
right there,
you know what
right?
it made me think of? What's the song? Is it an ironic?
Ironic. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude, the guy probably got like a sliver of hope from this, and then you just, because this, that's usually a death sentence, or, like, I've seen people who've gotten surgeries to remove that, and they have like an eye that's like, pretty messed up because of whatever the nerves endings or whatever they had to cut, or like their face droop. Looks like they've had a stroke. It's like different weird things, or it just takes them so fast, man. So yeah, this is non-invasive. You don't have to subject yourself to radiation, to chemo. So, hopefully this is, I guess it'll be interesting to see if the long-term effects stick around, or if you can just keep doing this, or if maybe does this mess you up more, or does it just buy you time? Who knows, man? But it definitely.
You figure with magnets, right? I mean, obviously you don't know the long-term effects of that, but shit, it can't be any worse than putting chemo inside of your body and
nuclear.
Stuff like that. Yeah, right. It's like, come on. I mean, I'll take magnets any day over.
Yeah, don't we live on a magnet ball?
Yeah, essentially, right? Dude, it's funny that you say that, man. It's not funny, but I ran into an old friend of mine today at the supermarket before I came here. Not seen this guy in 20 years probably, man.
Oh wow.
And he gave me some unfortunate news that his oldest son died of brain cancer, like teenager.
Oh.
And so when you told that story, man, just rang back to me, man. Like, we could find things like that, man, to cure, things that are just unfortunate. It's like there's nothing that kid did that would have caused that. You know what I mean?
Draw, man.
Yeah.
Like, or unluck of the draw, man. Draw. It's like, there's nothing you can do, man. You just get hit with stuff like that. That's like, I always struggle with that, man, because like, do you want to know? Like, I'm like, if I got, like, I would almost rather die from that by surprise. Like, never know that I had it coming. I don't know. I would go back and forth, because it's like, do I want to live my last moments knowing that they're going to be like, I don't know, man. Could I focus on living life? Does it change my perspective? Or
I think I would want to know, man. I think if my days were numbered, I would want to know, because, you could go and sort of do those bucket list things for lack of a better term.
Live like that anyway, bro.
You should live like that anyway, right? But we don't, because we always we live like there's always a tomorrow,
and
that's
true.
And there's really not. And so I think for that, while it would be difficult to know that I'm gonna die, so that would cause some angst. I would want to know, because I just go like, okay, all this shit that I already know is unimportant, now that's like non-existent.
Dude, yeah, you know what? Now that you put it that way, I got some credit cards I want to rack up and not pay. And not pay. So let's go.
First you gotta divorce your wife so that she's not left with the bills.
She's not left with the bill,
right?
And then you leave everything to her in a will,
right?
But then you go and rack up some credit cards that never getting paid. Amex can afford it. Visa they'll be all right.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, look at that! Y'all funded my bucket list trip. I'm gonna be doing stupid shit, bro. Maybe trying to ride whales or something. I don't even know what I would do. Like, bucket list wise, like, I'm trying to think of, like,
you could make the list though,
for sure. But I'm trying to, how normally people are like, first thing I would do is go this. I probably have so many things I wouldn't know what I would want to tackle, because I do have like a bucket list, kind of like in general, of things that I know I want to go do. I guess it would just accelerate the time that I want to go do those things, man.
Yeah, you go like, okay, and now I did this one thing. Like tomorrow, we're leaving to go do this other thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. Listen, it's gonna be a hefty credit card bill. We gonna have fun though. You want to come?
You know what I mean.
We about to do some crazy
you know what I mean, man. And also, man, talking about them damn those that helmet got me thinking about this story that I heard about this pizzeria in
I don't even want to know how you tie those two together.
Yep, you gonna find out. So this pizzeria in I think it was in Brooklyn, called Joe's Pizza. Of course it is, right? There's like a viral video out there where these patrons are in there and they're arguing with the guys in the back about their order. Okay. And then this fight breaks out.
Okay.
Right? And so like the guy who's arguing, he goes back, but he's not by himself. He's got like two friends with him.
Okay.
So it's like the three of them against the pizzeria.
The pizzeria?
The guys in the back.
So all the employees in the back.
Right.
And these
now
patrons.
this is a mom pop, pizzeria. You've seen them. You've been to them. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yo, they are going in, and then one of the dudes grabs a ladle. And he's beating the dude, and then he drops the ladle and he grabs the, what do you call that shit? Is it a pizza slide or some shit?
The giant spatula.
Yeah. Yo, when I first saw it, I was like, what do you call that thing?
The pizza slide.
The pizza
legit.
getter.
The pizza getter. The slide thing sounded legit. I thought that's what it was really called. It's not what it's called.
I think it is called. I looked at it's a pizza peel.
A pizza? No, that doesn't sound as cool. I think. Listen,
the slide
motion to turn that to slide. That sounds legit.
But yo, when you see it, because the person that's recording it is another patron that's waiting for his pizza.
Yo, he didn't even leave. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and record this and wait for my.
Oh no! During the fight, the guy, I guess the guy's friend, this is not in the video, tells him, "Bro, I don't think you're getting your pizza." And he goes, nah, fuck that, I'm waiting.
Yeah, that must be some bum ass pizza.
But yo, when the dude grabs the pizza peel and starts hammering on the guy, yo, you hear it, bro.
He starts hammering.
And then, bro.
Oh my god. Bro.
So, and it's funny, man, because like I said, it's one of these mom pop places. And you've seen this. Say they have the paper sign in the glass there. So you got the glass in front of the pizzeria where they have the pizzas there, right?
Yep.
So in front of and on the glass is paste or the piece of paper and handwritten, like visas only accepted if you spend $5. You've seen them shits,
the
right?
Minimum shit.
The minimum,
which is against the law of business to stop doing that shit.
Dude. But all I could think of, have you ever worked in foods?
No.
Okay, let me tell you something.
I've been lucky, man. I never had to work fast food or retail.
Okay, well, good for you, man. I don't know about the retail side, but I've worked in foods. Dude, the criminals are the ones you put in the back.
Those are the cooks.
Dude, yeah.
The criminals are the cooks.
Don't fuck with the back of the house, bro.
That's so true, though. Back of the house. The riffraff be back there.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I worked foods at Disney.
That's so good.
And it's funny, man. When I used to look at like for instance, all of the pretty girls were always in the front. They were either on the register or they were like serving the foods.
Client facing,
right?
Yeah.
The good looking girls.
It's a coincidence, bro.
The good looking, yeah, okay. The good looking girls, the good looking dudes are usually in the front. In the back is the riffraff. It's the riffraff. It's the people that's been there for 100 years. Like,
bro, they wait for the background check to come back, and then they go, "All right, this guy's kitchen." Slide it to the side. I'm like, oh, that person's front of house. This one's back.
And I learned this pretty quick, man, because there was a point. I started out in the kitchen as like a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, within like a year or so, they moved me out front, and then I was like in the cashier, whatever. There was this dude, a friend of mine, man, and I might have told you this story before. I don't know if I ever told it on here. He was like straight hood, right? And at one point, they bring this dude to the front. And I remember going like, wow, man, they're going to let this guy talk to people? And yo.
Yeah, I know he could talk, right? He's not mute.
But one time, so they bring him out to the front. Then they end up putting him on a register. So if you remember, this is one of the restaurants, right? So it's fast food. So they serve like burgers, fries, whatever, hot dogs. So the register is positioned in front of the menu. So the menu, the menu's to your back.
Okay, so the customer's looking at it and they're talking to you, basically.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Okay. So one time, man, they approach. This guy comes up, and we're not busy, and the guy is staring at the menu, but he's in front of this guy that I'm referring to, and he's staring at the menu for a while. He approaches my boy and goes, "Big Mac."
He's stared at it for that long and then said, and I'm assuming y'all didn't have Big Macs on the menu.
No, bro. It was Pinocchio themed. So it was like fucking Geppetto's burger and
Yo, I wonder what was this guy from?
so then he was like Middle East.
Okay.
And so my boy in his infinite wisdom, instead of helping him through it, what does he do? He didn't say shit. He turns his chair 180 degrees and starts looking at the menu.
Like, yo, which one of those did you see?
He's like, did they put something else up there and then tell us?
Or is he just mocking him? Like, where you see Big Mac, bro?
He was mocking him.
Oh,
he was mocking him,
bro.
But he turns the chair around and for like an uncomfortable 30 seconds stares at the menu. And he's like,
God, bro.
Then he turns around and goes, where did you see that?
Right there, it says hamburger. I wonder if that's just what they call every hamburger, or that's just what he would associate just hamburgers with in general. Like, it's a Big Mac his, like, you know how Puerto Ricans, we call everything Pampers, and that's really the brand, but like instead of saying diapers, Puerto Ricans, we call everything Pampers, right? You know, like,
I never thought about that.
Or Cheerios.
Yeah, that's
we call
true.
cereal Cheerio. Oh, give the kid Cheerios, and we're like, bro, it's Fruit Loops. Like,
it's funny with the Pampers. I remember going like, yo, I need to get a pack of Pampers, and they go like, oh, what brand?
Yes, bro, but Pampers is the
and
brand.
And I'd be like, no, I need Huggies.
There's just some things that are
That's
synonymous
true, man.
with
Wow.
like with that.
It's like Google,
bro. Clorox. Nobody says I'm gonna go get bleach. I get Clorox, like in like at least in a Latino household, bro. Oh, go give me some Clorox, and it'd be like, you know, great value bleach, but we know what you meant.
We know what you know. Yep.
Bro, I wonder if his association was like, oh, Big Mac, that's a burger. That's just everything's a Big Mac. Bro, but I want to know what he was thinking when he was staring at it the whole time, like just trying to like translate.
Maybe he couldn't read. Yeah, maybe he couldn't read.
Maybe he just thought, if I say this, people know what I'm talking about. I'm in America.
Right.
Come here. Like, none of that shit made sense, and he just goes, y'all have pictures
like,
about nothing?
The fuck is the Geppetto burger? I need a Big Mac.
What's a Geppetto? What's the Jiminy Cricket fries? I don't know what that is.
Yep.
What's a Geppetto burger? Yo, I dressed up as Geppetto when I worked there, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro. That shit was fucking hilarious because you're supposed to be a feeble
I was
old
gonna
man.
say, are you?
I'm right
aren't
at
you
the
too tall
top
for
of
that?
the height range for
Okay.
it. Yeah, Geppetto evidently was like I think you could be 5'9" to like 5'11"-ish, but they would be like, if they were desperate, they would just book me because at that time I was right at 6 feet. So they would just go.
No, that makes sense.
I wouldn't be the first choice, but they would just put me in it.
Yep.
And it's shit's high waters anyway, so it would kind of work out. But I'd be in that bitch breakdancing.
Geppetto about 102.
Yeah. And you know, like when you were there, my friend Geppetto, Disney wants you to call him your friend. You would get like this card, and it would be like the how you're supposed to act, right? It would be like a character description and how you're supposed to act, right? And then if it was like a character with a face, meaning like you were inside of a costume, like you were like Aladdin, let's say, where visibly people, they would have like quotes and whatever that you would use, right? Anyway, for the Geppetto, it would be like, you know, like feeble old man. You know, like couldn't be excitable kind of thing, but it was like nothing about it told you like, yo, no breakdancing, no flipping, no whatever. My ass, bro, I treated Geppetto the same way I treated Tigger. I was wilding out, bro. I was like wilding out at Geppetto.
They must have liked you though, man. Like
I had hella fun there.
I mean,
bro.
like the people because of your energy.
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny, man? At the time, you don't think about it. I guess. I mean, you do and you don't. Like at the time, I'm thinking like, yo, these because you're all day you hear families like they're snapping photos, and obviously you can't talk because you're in costume, right? But you're constantly hearing like oh my god, we've been saving our whole lives for this, or like blah blah blah. Like so after a while, you kind of go like, wow, this is cool, this is big, and they're taking a photo with me.
It's big for
and so
them,
for me,
man.
I would try to make it like. Yo, man, I'm on I see you recording, I see you snapping photos, like I'm gonna be on this memory forever. So I was like, I didn't have it in me to just stand there.
Right.
Like, and go through the motions. So I would have fun, man. But yeah, I would get people who would be like, oh, dude, that was awesome, or like that. And also to me, it would make the time go by faster. And then also you wouldn't concentrate on how hot it was. Because if you're active, you know, you're kind of sweating and it cools you down anyway. to me, then it felt like a workout thing. I wasn't focusing on like, fuck, it's 90 out here and I'm wearing this like thing. So
you didn't do well on those where they have you like they stand there and there's a line of people coming up to you.
No, I would get in trouble all the time, bro. Because and I could see the flip side of that. I would just take off through the park. And it's funny is you would always have like a greeter with you, and this greeter was always like 100. And obviously couldn't chase me through the park, but they're supposed to because they're like your bodyguard.
They're either 100 or overweight.
Yep, they couldn't keep up, bro. So I would sometimes take like a group of kids, and they would be like, "Come here," and I'd be like, "All right, where we going?" And I would just go. Like some kid would pull Goofy's hand by the thing, and I would just wild out and just go to the park. I would try not to do it if there was like a long line, but what would happen is I would take off and do that, and then the line would start to form because they knew like, oh, so and so's supposed to be here, and then I would like. And I would take off. So like they hated that. They would be like, you got to sit there and sign the books and take the pictures, which I got because like you get people who literally just want you to sign that book.
Yep.
Who literally go, they won't even take a picture, just sign the book. And I was like, all right, man. And then I would do it, but like some people wanted the full. Like to me, it felt like a jip to just be like, oh, let me pose, sign, and then go off.
Did you ever sign wrong? Like being like one costume?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure I signed something like Goofy and I was in Tigger or Geppetto. Yeah, for sure. Or, you know what I would do sometimes? I would notice it, and then I would flip the page and sign it as what I was supposed to do. Yeah. And then I would wonder if they would be like, when the fuck did, so-and-so sign it? Because they are distinct signatures, too, that you have to learn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not...
I thought it was like a scribble.
No.
Oh,
they give
shit.
you here's how this person signs.
Yeah,
you got to practice it. And then you got to do it.
That's cool, man.
So every character has a distinct signature and all that. So you would have to learn them. And so, like, if you've never done it before, you literally look at it before you go out there and probably try it a couple times. And you're like, all right, I got it. I mean, nothing difficult.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah. No. It's all in, like, print. And then it would all be, like, maybe Goofy would put a hat, like, on top of one of his letters or something like that. Something close enough. But they wanted you all to have something close enough that no matter who got it, they felt like it was the Goofy, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
No, that's cool, man. Disney does
cool,
all that. Disney's so good on
top-notch,
attention to detail.
Everything, dude. Again, dude, Disney's Disney for a reason, dude. The way they operate, the efficiency. I mean, you've worked there, but even as a character, at that time, the efficiency, the everything that they do, how they do it, nothing's half-assed, man, at that place. It's just like, and the funnest job I've ever had, bro. I think we talk about this all the time. I go, that's going to be my retirement job. I'm going to go back there and just hang, man. But
let me tell you,
so fun.
Back at the house, shit is hot, irritable. We used to get mad at each other and go slap box in a cooler in the freezer.
Slap box?
Slap box.
Hitting each other with ribeyes and shit. Slap box.
You ever stood behind a broiler master for 4 hours?
Those people look miserable, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
yeah, so you can imagine, like, going back to this story with the pizzeria. These guys are in a small place with a hot ass pizza oven. They probably been there for hours. It's not fun.
And it's New York, so there's no central AC. Like,
right.
There. It's like, oh.
So man, don't listen, folks. Don't start fights with back in the house people because they just you go in a place where things are hot, sharp. You got knives in there. You got
and they want the smoke. They want the smoke.
Yep,
they ready to die.
Then they're like, I wish a motherfucker would come in here today.
Real.
And tell me he want pineapples on his pizza.
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. That shit is hysterical, bro. Dude, I was thinking of a story when you said that and I lost something that just happened this week, man. With there was something that you said that triggered like, fuck, man. It'll come back to me. I was thinking of something. Did you see the whole thing with the baby, though?
I did. Like, like, go ahead, man. Tell the people what happened.
The baby is like a rapper, probably one of the biggest names out right now.
He's good.
He's good. Yeah. And he's probably you talk to anyone younger than probably 30, that's probably their guy right now. The Baby, let's say The Baby and Lil Baby are probably the biggest rappers right now.
Definitely up there. Yeah.
Huge guys. Anyway, The Baby was like, I guess he did Rolling Loud, which Rolling Loud is wild, man. I don't know if you saw the stage collapse like the day before it was supposed to start.
No.
All the LED walls and the stage completely collapsed.
Wait a minute. That was here.
It's Miami at Hard Rock Stadium.
Yes, that's right.
And I thought, thankfully, it was before the actual festival had started, so the arena was empty.
Right.
So obviously they got it back up and running, working, whatever, and they were able to carry on with the festival. But anyway, so one of his closing like acts, rappers just talk shit. You ever been to a concert? Rappers just go there and go off. But anyway, so he goes up there. And during his set, and he goes, if you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks, then put your cell phone lighter up. I don't know why he got into that. Maybe there's context to that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Then he goes, fellas, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phones lighter up. And I'm like, well, if you're sucking dick in the parking lot, you're not in there, bro. Or maybe he meant if you just never done it in general. I don't know. I need clarity, baby. But anyway, so people took that as like this homophobic and like, you know, anti-AIDS and anti-HIV and just, I mean, is it an ignorant comment to make? Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I expecting that from a rapper? Yeah. Like, and so now there's this whole shit where they want them like apologize and put out statements and all this stuff. And I'm like,
Dude,
people
got to remember where these guys are from.
Yes, dude.
All right. These are not like Harvard grads. You know what I mean? Like, and not saying that the guys are not smart, but a lot of these guys are raised in environments that are homophobic. Let's be honest, man.
Absolutely. We have that conversation here when we're talking about the NFL.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, like that, dude. When I was growing up, like the term faggot was, you know, like that was like, yo, don't be a faggot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that, that was that. It's derogatory. I would never use that, right? But it's like those being brought up in like in an inner city. Being gay was, at least when I was growing up, was not accepted.
Well, especially in urban, because they value the machismo.
The machismo,
they value,
yeah. And so, matter of fact, that when I saw that, I actually saw another article this week where there was a kid that was there was like these two or three family members that got arrested because there was a viral video of them kind of belittling one of their family members, and they had actually carved like with a not a razor, but what's the fucking buzzer?
Clippers. Okay, yeah.
They carved like gay into his head because the kid was sort of like quote unquote acting gay.
Yeah.
And in the video they're like belittling the kid. And going like, don't fucking act like that. You know that shit is not right. And now remember, it's not just the hood. It's like it's the hood plus there's like Christian values there, right? And so that's not accepted. And so you get these guys that grow up in that environment, and then now they're just entertainers.
They're just entertainers, and then they give you the same things that got them there.
Yep.
The good and the bad, right? That's what made them that, right? What made him a good rapper was his upbringing, and where you get weird shit like this is his upbringing. Dude, my thing that I had beef with was I hate when someone shows you who they are, and we're like, nah, put it back in the box. No, bro, like let him. If that's how he feels, and I don't know. Again, it's a rap concert. These dudes are probably drinking, doing shit, partying. You caught up in the moment, whatever. I don't know, bro. I don't know what this guy feels. He probably really does sort of feel this way. If I had to take a guess, right? There's a, like you said, there's some sense of homophobic when you grow up in environments like that. But I go, why are you trying now to suppress him? Just let the people decide whether or not we want to support him. The dollar talks, right? Like at the end of the day, if you're like, oh, he shouldn't he shouldn't be a rapper, he shouldn't be given his platform, well, the people will speak to that, right? People will stop listening, people will stop going to shows, people will stop. But if people continue to support him, then that means people are okay with it. Like, you have to, like, I hate this shit where you want to suppress like everything we disagree with. It's like, listen, I don't condone what he did and all that, but if that's his thing, then cool. Now I know where he stands on that, right. And I choose whether or not I want to support him. Like, I hate this thing where we go like, people, we're always like, oh, be who you are, yada yada, and then somebody shows you who they are, and we don't like it. We're like, oh, put that one away. Don't be that one. Don't be that one. Like, it's like,
be who you are. Accept
this.
Accept this.
This and 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 this, or we're gonna cancel you completely. I go, the people will cancel you by themselves. You don't have like. I always hate the idea of, hey, go out and apologize to blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, I meant that shit. Like, so you want me to just go say it? I don't mean it. But okay, cool. I'm going to do it for the optics. And like, to me, I never buy those bullshit apologies. Like, I'm like, I think he actually even came out and apologized to like the HIV/AIDS community and was kind of just like, I engage, y'all, do you, whatever. Like, right, so like, clearly
he doesn't really care.
He doesn't really care. And he also, to your point, probably did grow up with some sense of like, that shit is not cool where he's from or whatever. But I'm just like, I'm seeing all this outrage, which I go, okay, cool, be mad. Maybe you're disappointed if you're the baby fan.
Right.
That's fine. But
don't support him.
Don't support him. Yeah,
Like,
and don't try to shove him back in
individually.
the box
Yeah.
or be like, no, you have to think this way. It's like, nah, bro, you don't like it, just don't support him. Like,
Yeah.
I would rather know where he stands. Just like I would rather know where the racists stand. I would rather know where they live. Then I make the choice on whether or not I want to interact with that. Like, I every time I see
I
this
think
shit,
that
I'm like, ugh.
when people feel really strongly about their beliefs, they think that everybody else should feel that way.
Yes.
Case in point, I think this week I read about last week we talked about Jeff Bezos going up to going up to space. Richard Branson going up to space, right? But I saw this week it was like what's her name, Elizabeth Warren,
Yeah.
and Tulsi Gabbard, two former I guess
Presidential,
and they're not candidates, right? But they were
vying for the nomination, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you call that.
And Tulsi Gabbard, I respect. I really like.
I actually did
think
too.
she's
Yeah,
a smart lady, man. I supported her.
Seem reasonable.
Seem reasonable.
Yeah.
But it's like both of them came out and was like, "Oh, Jeff Bezos, he's spending all this money to go out up into space. He needs to pay taxes." And it's like, man, like, shut up, man.
It's gonna ruin it for the rest of us. Man. Like,
And then there was like a whole thing of like,
there was this whole everything I turned on, bro. Every segment was about like everything that these guys could cure or solve or fix
if they
with
would,
their
right,
money.
with their money.
Which, first of all, dude, when people see like Jeff Bezos worth, whatever it is now, $100 billion, I don't even know what it is. It's whatever. He's worth that, people. He doesn't have that in cash. Like,
Right.
A, that's one part. And B, even if he had that in cash, I don't give a fuck what he spends it on, bro. That's his money. Like, he earned it. You guys keep buying shit from him, and he's building that up.
Yep.
Now, I don't know, man. Do you want to argue that morally, ethically, there's enough money that you would never be able to spend on your own, so you should spread the wealth? Like, there's an argument to be made there.
No, I
but
mean,
you're
and-
not forced to. Like,
Right. No, sure. That's a fabulous idea, right? And if you have that money and you want to do that, like, I'm in support of that. But if you have it and you want to hoard it, like, I don't really care, man.
No,
That
and the
has nothing
problem
to do
is
with
we
me.
can never have reasonable conversations behind what it is to fix those problems, right? Because like I saw this one pop up a lot. You could cure homelessness in, like, say, San Francisco, right, which is rampant. I go, okay, so what does he do? He buys a building, say an abandoned hotel, or builds one
Okay.
for a bunch of homeless folks. Then what?
Yeah.
That doesn't solve
No, you
why
just,
they're homeless.
Yeah, you support them forever.
Yeah. And
But
then what do
that's
you hire
not-
staff to run it? And then, okay, maybe you start a foundation through Amazon that runs this. You know how many problems come with having a, 200 unit place full of homeless folks? Because they're homeless for a reason. Like, whether it's mental illness or, addiction or
right.
whatever it is.
Some are just falling on hard times.
Some are just on hard
right?
times, for sure.
However, the vast majority of people either, I would say either have a mental illness or they want to be. I remember going to Seattle and seeing the big homeless population there, and talking to somebody in the area, and they were like, "Yo, don't get it twisted. A lot of these guys and girls want to be." Because there's like an ordinance over there where you can basically camp out
pitch your
anywhere.
tent. Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's literally like pitch your tent, like anywhere you want.
Yeah,
kind
anywhere
of
you
thing.
want.
Yeah. San Francisco has something similar, which is why people be like, if you notice people in front of their houses on the sidewalk, they'll plant like cactuses or something spiky or whatever. Like,
Yeah?
you know how you normally get that little square like in New York where there's
Yeah.
like one tree. So in San Fran, people have that and they'll start putting like shit there so that people won't pitch their tent. Because there was literally like you're walking by, dude. There's an app in San Francisco that tells you where there's feces, like on the floor, like shit,
Get
like
the
human
fuck
shit.
outta here.
Literally an app, like avoid this street and this. Like,
What's the app?
oh, we can do it. I'll tell you right now. But, dude, I go, okay, that's cute, and it's a good thing to romanticize about, but it doesn't solve the reason they're homeless.
Right.
So like, if you want to go, hey, go start a foundation or do this or do that, and Jeff Bezos can't solve every fucking problem. Like, also, that's our government's problem. And if you want to then go fix the tax law or whatever, because I feel like if we felt like our tax dollars went to something tangible or something that we can see, like I think if we felt comfortable with the way our tax dollars were spent, none of us would cry about tax dollars, and I think more of us would be willing to give up tax dollars. The problem is that our tax dollars are taken away, and I have no fucking clue what you're using it on, and all I see are problems that I'm like, okay, I feel like the government should be solving these. Now, obviously, when you dig deeper, there's a lot of shit that you get for your tax dollars. But I think this is the difference between like Europe, where these countries that tax you at like 60%, but people are like, but yeah, my daycare's covered and my healthcare's covered and this is covered and this and that.
A year off
and
when I have a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And they go, I see what I get. So in their mind, they're getting the value, right, of that 60%. I think for us, we don't feel like we're getting our value's worth. And so it changes our perception or just our idea of taxes, right? To us, it's a fucking nuisance. And to billionaires, and also, man, keep your money. Like, I want to keep as much of my money as possible.
Absolutely.
And then let me decide how I want to distribute that. And I saw that Jeff Bezos was giving away like 100 mil to a couple people. Do you see that? He gave some to like Van Jones, I think. You know the dude from CNN? I think it's Van Jones. The guy, the dude with the glasses, bald dude, he's always he's always in a panel with Cuomo and Anderson Cooper. I'm pretty sure his name is Van Jones. But anyway, he oh
yeah.
Yeah, so
he gave him what?
He's giving him 100 mil. He's like,
For
you
what?
do what you want. Just giving it to him.
Get the fuck
You
out
can donate it. So it's basically his thing of like, all right, cool. I'm going to give it. And he did it to a few people. I'm going to give them 100 mil. What are you going to do with it? And he goes, you can keep it.
That's fantastic.
It's a great fucking idea. I love it, bro. I love it. I love it. You know what? Like, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you $100 million. That's a life change. That's generational for you. What are you going to go do with that $100 million? I fucking love that idea, dude. And he did it to a few people. And he says there's more to come. It's because he like, you know, like teased some whatever. And I go, I'm pretty sure Jeff Bezos already gives away a shit ton of money. And then this idea that like, oh, no one would ever be hungry again. And this and that. I'm like, it's just not realistic. And also, he doesn't owe me shit.
No, and you know what? If he did pay his, let's say he paid his right, you know.
Snap crap, by the way, is what the app is called. Sorry. Snap crap, people.
Thank you for that interruption.
Carry on.
I don't even know where I was going with this.
The 100 mil Bezos is giving away.
No, I was going to say that even if he paid his, like, sort of his correct taxes, then what? Then you just go, okay, he pays taxes, like, that's it. Like, it doesn't, the government is not taking that and curing the country's problems.
Solving every other problem. Yeah. It's ludicrous, man.
No, they'll go, oh, well, who knows? We'll build a wall.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
I saw that, and I saw the Richard Branson thing, and then the Elon Musk, and like, I was like, guys, like, these guys don't owe you anything. First of all, like, I don't know, man. I feel like if I had their money, right, and again, easy for me to say, if I was a billionaire, and I'm not nowhere near the level, but I do try to give to the capacity that I can, or I feel like, right? If something moves me or there's an organization that I like, I'm either donating time or money, whatever that is. I feel like these guys probably do that in their own form. It's just that we have this like wealth envy and they're so ludicrously wealthy that we feel like, no, they don't need all that.
It's like it's like you're evil.
Yes.
And I think that people forget this guy has a you know, a multi-billion-dollar company that pays a lot of salaries. Those people are paying a lot of taxes. Like, there's a lot that goes on there, and you know that he supports human beings.
And they provide a product that is extremely fucking convenient
really
for
fucking
us.
good, bro.
Yeah, it's great. So we got him there. That's us. Yeah. Like, we got him. Don't buy that thing on Amazon Prime and go give that money away. Like, if you're really that bothered by it, it's like, oh, go get that money away. Go to your local, whatever, hardware store or whatever you got to, like, yeah, I don't know, man. And it's funny because you see, like, some of these guys, people complain about, like, how they kind of live day to day. So if you saw, like, Elon Musk, and I think we've talked about this on here before, where Elon sold all his stuff and he lives in, like, this tiny house now in, like, Austin. And he has, like, I think a nicer house in California somewhere. But he basically sold all his belongings, all his houses, his cars, and he literally lives in this tiny little house somewhere in Austin. And then the way Elon lives is Elon takes a loan against his Tesla shares. So let's say he might take a loan for $100 million, and the collateral for that loan is his shares in Tesla. So as Tesla goes up and down, you know, whatever, obviously changes, but that's how he lives. So he doesn't take a salary. He just goes to a bank and goes, I need $100 million to live. And then here's X amount of Tesla shares as collateral against that 100 mil. He doesn't have to pay taxes on it. And then that's what he uses to live day to day. Pay his bills, thing. I go, like, that's fucking genius.
Good for him, bro.
Like, I would do that. Listen, if you want to give me my salary and all stock, and I could put up my stock in as collateral for a loan, yeah, and that's gonna save me a tax bill. Sure, like sign me up. Like, and so people are outraged about that type
so
of
hold
stuff.
on. So can you do that? Can you do that with your house? Right? Like if you do like a, I don't know, like a line of credit against your house.
Yes. You don't pay taxes against that money when you take it out of the line of credit. Yeah. You don't pay taxes on that money. You know, have you ever refinanced your house?
Yeah.
You don't pay taxes on the money you take out.
No, you don't.
If you take the money out of a line of credit, you don't. You're just using your asset as collateral against it.
Wow.
And because of the like exchange, it's non-taxable. So like people get pissed off at that.
You just pay you pay interest.
You pay interest on it. Of course, yeah. So you are paying interest. You're making the bank richer.
You're making it right.
Right. So then there's that argument. There's like, oh, you're just making this rich and powerful person even more rich and powerful. But it's like, listen, don't be mad at me. Like, you guys all have the option to do that. Because to your point, if you own a home, go take a home equity line of credit out and live off of that. And you avoid taxes. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like we get so mad because these guys like extort the loopholes, which every single one of us would do if we knew how to, or if we had a team. You know, obviously Elon has a team of people who go like, "Hey, Elon, do this," and he's like, "Okay," you know, like he's not doing this himself. He probably has the best financial advisors and accountants in the world who handle this stuff for him. Like, we would all do the same thing, you know, like everybody who complains about this, I go, you're also the one like making up numbers on your tax returns to try to get the most money back. Like,
yep. Telling me that you donated $1,000 worth of clothes last year to Goodwill.
To Goodwill.
Stop lying.
Yeah. No, you didn't. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I saw that shit was like all over this week. Dude, there was a whole radio segment here locally about like if you had this money, like what would be the first thing you would solve? And of course, everybody's like giving the like PC response of like, oh, I'd go do this and no one would ever be homeless in this city again, and I would blah blah. And I'm like, that's cute, bro. That's a good romanticized pipe dream to have. But I go like, walk through the logistics of carrying out something like that. That's not feasible. Like, it's just not. And then why is it on him and not the government then? Like, it's just.
And I think that you do have people that would do that, right? That would give it all away, you know. And I know
100%. I think if they had belief that it solved the problem,
right?
Yeah.
But like you said, if it's, I think there's also a mindset of when you're an entrepreneur and you're busting your ass and you're putting in a lot of work and you're building this business, and then it gets to, you know, this astronomical number. Yeah, you do. Those guys, like you said earlier, man. Jeff Bezos does give away money. He does give away money to charity, and they do that shit, right? But as far as taxes are concerned, if that guy has a way not to pay taxes, he shouldn't.
Good for him. This is why I didn't care about the Trump thing too when that was big. I'm like, listen, he figured it out. Yep. Like, good for him. Like, he played by the rules.
And then he wouldn't produce them.
And then he wouldn't produce that. It's so great, bro. Like, listen, man. Like, we're all handed the same.
Drag it out as long as you can.
Yep, set of rules, man. These guys have like access to resources and you know, obviously that we don't have access to, or again, bro, this day and age, you go do your research, man, and you go online. There's a lot of ways to save money and avoid certain types of taxes and do stuff like, you know, we talk about this all the time. Like, I talk to people who give like little ideas about something as simple as like, you know, whose name is on a loan, or, you know, if you're married and stuff like that, where you find all these little nuances in saving here and there or minimizing risk. And I'm just like, oh yeah, like that's proximity to like information and just, again, that we would all use, but I think we're upset because it's not accessible, or we feel like it's not accessible to all of us, and people just get mad about that. I just don't understand like this thought that this person has to go solve that problem. Because I 100%, I think if Jeff Bezos went, oh, if I give you guys $100 million a year, no one in the city would ever be homeless again, and that was a guarantee, I guarantee he'd probably do it. He'd go, all right, cool, I could give up $100 million of, you know, a year. Cool, we make billions in profits.
Right.
Like $100 million, fine. It doesn't solve the problem. These are very smart people that I'm going to assume have thought these things through. Yeah. And like you said, isn't he part of the group that's committed to give away a ton of his wealth anyway? I know his wife is.
I know his wife does it. Yeah,
but you're welcome. That's already. Like said, he already gave away.
He said the $100 million. It wouldn't be that, and it would just. There's always that number that people would go, it's too much for one person.
It's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary, right?
And I would argue, like,
what isn't necessary?
Right, what is necessary? And my argument would be, like, that's cool. I'm trying to set up, like, my grandkids and my great-grandkids and my great-great-grandkids, so I don't know how much money that is. Like, I don't, and not to say that I wouldn't give any money away, but who are you to tell me that I have too much? I'm like, no, I'm trying to set generationally, like, which I'm sure is what he's trying to do. Like, listen, a Bezos should never have to work again if they don't want to, basically, or not pursue something because money's a problem. Like, And I get that, man.
Yeah.
So
after I die, they can give it all away.
yeah, they can go do whatever the fuck they want. But I know I set them up for
Right.
whatever, whatever thing they want to do. If they want to go hike and be hippies or whatever, like, cool.
Fucking go
I gave them the ability to go do
build
that.
sandcastles in
And
Argentina.
every single person, dude, like listening, watching, like every single one of us, if we had the opportunity to leave our kids with options, I'm not saying like, hey, you give them money and they never have to work, but hey, here's a nest egg. You don't have to go and work 2 jobs and put yourself through college. You can go figure that out at your own pace. So if you want to go to art school, if you want to do whatever that is, I think every single one of us would want to be able to give our kids the ability to have options.
Yeah.
Every single one of us. So
it would be, I mean, on a very small scale, right? Like, and you know this, my wife and I have done the prepaid college for all 3 of my sons, right? If someone didn't have access to that information, or at least wasn't made, or the information wasn't made available to them, readily available, should they be mad at me because I did that?
I would think not.
Right? No, right? Exactly.
And I found that, and I think we've talked about this on here before, I found that out through you. Like probably, I don't know, early 20s or whatever, before I probably had kids, where we had a conversation and you mentioned something like, yeah, pay for my kids' college. And I remember like light bulb going off going, oh shit, okay, cool, I got to do that. Because again, that gesture now sets up my kids for like, oh yeah, now you don't have to worry about college here, it's paid for.
Right.
So what else? Like you remove obstacles, because then you give people the opportunity to be as successful as possible. It doesn't mean it's going to work out, but they're going to have the opportunity at least to working 2 jobs or 3 jobs won't be a problem, or not having money for school won't be the problem. So I don't know, man. I think we all just take out the frustrations when we can't do something on the people that can.
Yep.
And like you said, I think the amount of wealth that he has is just, and again, he doesn't even have this in cash. It's like, that's what he's worth. That's what Amazon's worth. That's what his assets are worth. That's like him liquidating Amazon. That's what his net worth would be. So like, who knows? This guy probably has $16 in the bank account somewhere. Yeah. Obviously he has access to funds if he needed it, but I think we just presume that this guy's got like $100 billion.
I wonder what is the number? Like, what is the number? What's the threshold that you cross that then most people go, it's too much?
Do you think it's $1 billion?
I don't know. I think it's less than that.
You think it's 100 million? Or you think it's less than 100 million?
I would say for most people, right? So just say most people. I think it's less than 100 million.
See, man, to me, it's whatever amount it is, or you could be like a stupid spender. Like you always see those stories of like a Mike Tyson, like he went broke.
Yep.
To me, I go, when you can do stupid shit like that and you still never spend it, maybe that's too much. Because like, but even then I would be like, good for you. Like I wouldn't even care. Like the I don't know, man. You think for most people, 10 mil, 50 mil, it's too much? Like
I'm just gonna right. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I know people that be mad at a couple 100,000. I guess you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right, man. I know people who'll be mad if you make a couple 100,000. Like, oh, this guy got blah blah blah. It's like you should do something with that. It's like,
right,
nah, bro. Like, and then what's an amount?
Or like like you have like family that goes like, oh, like you make money.
Oh,
right. You've had that before. It's just like
shit.
It's like, oh, you make money. Like you pay for this.
Yeah,
you pay for this.
Oh. Yeah, we've had that conversation. That shit agitates me so much because I would never use that on someone, like, or presume that because whatever their financial status that they have to either cover a meal for me or like I don't know. I feel like there's people that do it in jest that like whatever, like it's a joke. But I've gotten that. I'm sure you have too, like from people who were dead serious, like, oh, you got this, and they'll like walk away, and you're like, I probably would have got it, but the fact that you just did that, like. Nah.
Yeah, like, come back over here.
Yeah, come back over here. We splitting this shit 4 ways.
All right, man. Let's get off of that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, dude, go Bezos.
Dude, I saw this story this week, man. And this is kind of crazy. And I'm gonna tell you the story, and then you got to tell me what's the drug.
Name that drug. I like it. New segment. Name that drug. Go. I'm ready.
All right. This story took place in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I already know what it is. Go. I already know what it is. Go.
Damn it! I shouldn't have said it. All right. So this guy, homeowner, goes to sleep. Everything's closed, windows, doors, whatever. Wakes up in the morning. There's a door wide open, and there is another man sleeping in his kitchen. Not only that, He's surrounded by torn up sanitary napkins. Now, first of all,
Okay, sanitary napkins as in like pads.
yes. So first of all, until I read this story, I had no idea what sanitary napkins were.
You just learned that from the story.
I always say, man, I'm not that smart. I was like, when I read this story, I'm like, what the fuck are sanitary napkins? Like, what did he do? Like, take napkins? Is it like wet naps? Is it like antibacterial wipes? Like, what is it? Right? Look it up, and I was like, oh,
It's a maxi pad.
It pads.
Yeah.
So torn up menstrual pads. Guy was 60 years old. He's unconscious, and he ate the guy's. You ever see the cereal Crave with the K?
Nah.
It's
Crave?
like it's Crave. It has like it has chocolate in it. So it's like this cereal that has like you've seen.
Is
that
this
shit.
like a healthy cereal?
Yeah. It has dark chocolate.
Motherfucker broke in on meth, but he watching his calorie count.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes. I knew it.
Yes, he was on meth. And then when the cops came to get him, they said the dude was unaware and was unable to explain how or why he was in that house.
Smelled the Crave. That's fantastic. I like this dude watching his calories, but he taking fucking.
I'm still trying to figure out why the ripped up. Like I guess he surrounded himself with the torn up.
That shit is a story you gotta like. What dumpster did you dive into outside of a women's shelter? Oh fuck, bro! Oh my god, he's dumpster diving at a Dixie Chicks concert. That's so good. The minute you said Altoona, I was like, meth. Oh, it's so good, man.
I shouldn't have gave it away, man. How we doing on time?
Fuck, that's so good. We got time for one more story, man. We less than an hour in. Olympics, bro. You watching Olympics, man?
Hell yeah, you're not?
Bro, I haven't watched a single second. I forget that it's even on until something shows up on like social media.
Dude, you don't want to see like Simone Biles get her 30th medal and
bro, to me, bro, I have zero interest in making white people feel athletic. So like, none of the sports
they got NBA
are,
players
like,
there.
Yeah, but do they?
And track and field.
Like NBA is not winning a gold medal.
You don't think, man?
No, bro.
Who do you think? So they got beat by France.
Yeah.
In like in one of the first games that kind of mattered.
I don't know who, bro, but I
you see Luka dropped 48 in the first game.
It might be them, who knows? But I just don't know anybody else on that.
And he's playing for Slovenia, and then the French team beat the U.S. and they've got a couple NBA players. I got like three or four NBA players on that squad.
Well, this the thing is like the men's team for the NBA, like no LeBron, no Anthony Davis, no James Harden, no like to me all the leaders. Or I'm gonna take James Harden out of that, but like you need a leader in there, which you don't have. Because what do you have on that team? Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, Chris Middleton. Like it's not a dream. The thing is that the rest of the world is caught up to us, right? Dude, top 3 players in the NBA right now. You could argue 2 of them aren't American. Right, Giannis and Luka. You could argue that's top 3. It depends who you want to put number 1, or if you want to put Durant in there. I put Giannis over Durant right now, and Luka's my only wild card because I don't know how he's gonna hold up from a physical perspective, and I guess he's got to win a ring or 2. But I think if you're starting a team today, you probably take Luka over Kevin Durant. You certainly take Giannis, both non.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're right.
So when Kevin Durant's the like star on that team, who's not really known to be a leader, kind of a moody guy. You've even seen like his like every time I see the highlights or the videos of him, I'm like, ugh. Like
when I watched the second half of that game. The dude was on like early in the morning, and he just looked disinterested. Yeah. So that team's not winning a gold medal, man. I don't know who because I don't know enough about international basketball about who's good right now. But I'm like, it's not going to be the U.S. Well, then there's also stories that the players are upset with Popovich.
Which is funny, bro. He's coached them the last 15, 16 years. He's been the dream team coach the last 2 or 3 times, right?
No, wasn't there? No, it was this guy, the college coach.
Oh, was
Coach
it
K.
Krzyzewski? But wasn't Popovich part of the staff or
I
not?
don't know. Maybe.
I'm like, winning cures everything, bro. If they'd have been winning, but now, of course, it's like the system is the problem. Is that what it is, or him?
I don't know.
Like
I said, it's all grumblings. There's no
maybe, but
real-
I'm like, bro, basketball is one of those where it's like put the ball in the hoop, bro. Like better than the other guys. Like, I mean, you guys are all the best players in the world, supposedly. Like, you lost to France, bro. France, who have the kid, the Fournier, right, who played for the Magic.
Fournier. They got Rudy Gobert, Batum. I want to say is the guy's name.
Okay, Nicholas. Batum. Yeah, that's not a. That's
No. And I think
that's the Atlanta Hawks, bro.
Damian Lillard was like, man, these guys. How come they don't play that well when they're in the NBA?
I think they're hyped up now too, and yeah, who knows, man. Yeah, again, that's like.
But no, man, I've been watching every day. Like I turn it on. I want to see. I don't do the scheduled things like at night.
Okay.
My Roku actually has like a whole like 2020 Olympics section, and so they'll cut things down. They get rid of all the fluff, and like if you want to watch the swims, like they get right to it. So it's like a 5-minute clip of like a particular race.
So they edit it down so you don't have to watch. Like,
so it's cool, man. So I think it's either today or yesterday. They had the women's 100-meter breaststroke, right? And so I don't remember all the names, but there was like an American woman who was favored, and then she had like her nemesis, who I think was from like Australia. Anyway, before the thing goes, and then the second American was this like 17-year-old from Alaska, right? So before the race, you see the favored American standing up next to like the nemesis, and she's like, like hitting herself on the arms and like getting herself, but like right in front of the other girl. Like you can tell it's almost
trying to hype herself up.
Yeah, almost maybe a little bit of an intimidation factor, right?
Okay.
Anyway, they both get smoked by this 17-year-old from Alaska, bro. It's like the only person from Alaska. Her name is Lydia Jacoby.
And was it a swimming thing you said?
Breaststroke, swimming.
Oh, breaststroke. Okay.
And this chick wins gold. And what's cool is, man, is that they, so she's 17 years old. She's in high school. The whole high school is like gathered for a watch party inside of their gymnasium.
Oh, that's cool.
Watching her, watching her win. And so they were just like, hype. They're crazy. Because have you been to Alaska?
No.
Ain't much to do there.
Yeah, I say no. Never had an opportunity to.
Don't stay more than about two days.
I don't want to go anywhere where they sell a light for anti depression. I'm out.
I actually went when it was like I think it was like May time frame.
So was it light the whole time?
So it was mostly light. So it was like I remember walking home from a restaurant at like 11 o'clock at night, and it was dark, but it wasn't like pitch dark.
Okay.
Right. And then by 3 a.m. it's light.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
But the hotel has like blackout curtains.
That's why that place breeds serial killers and stuff, bro. That shit's not normal. Our clocks aren't meant to be like that, bro. Yeah, dude, zero interest. I've literally not watched a single second of it.
No,
I could care less. There's nothing. Like even Simone Biles, like.
Well, she backed out today.
So is she out now for?
No, and that, from what I understood, from what I understand now, she backed out for mental reasons. She was just like, in my head's not in it.
So she backed out of the team.
So
but she's about to go get these individual medals anyway.
She's still eligible to do that. Yes.
To do that. I wonder, do you let her since she backed out of the team one?
You have to. They still won silver, by the way.
They still won silver, but not damn.
Without her.
Yo, if you're the rest of the girls on that team though, probably cost you gold.
Yeah,
for sure. Because she's the I don't know, man. Like there was a lack of like anything that I cared about. Like. Yeah, Simone Biles cool. If I'm flipping channels and I happen to see it, I might leave it on.
She has like 27 medals. She's 24 years old, bro.
Yeah, but it's over. Like after this, right? Like this is it. Like it's gymnastics, bro. Listen, the Chinese team is rolling out like 7-year-old girls. They're gonna like dominate this shit. Like little 7-year-old flexible as shit. Like the only thing they're missing is like they're not springy like Simone Biles. They'll fucking implant some like springs in their ankles or some shit, and they'll. And in Russia, like I saw, Russia has like a bootleg team, and they're smoking everybody, but it's not
They're doing
Russia.
good,
It's
bro.
like the Russian Olympic Committee, which is stupid. It's
Oh,
like,
that's what the Rock stands for.
Yes,
I was
dude.
like, what the hell is the Rock? Are they part of Rock Nation?
you can't say you can't say it's Russia, and they won't play the Russian national anthem and thing, but it's all Russian athletes. It's so stupid, bro. It's like,
and was that because of
the doping thing.
The doping
like,
thing, right?
Yo, Russia was. If you guys don't know the story about Russia, this shit is wild. At the I think it was Sochi at the last Winter Olympics, bro. Which it's always known Russia kind of cheats, and they pass drug tests even though they're all fucking on steroids, bro. When they built the facility, the lab for the last Sochi Olympics, where they would be testing them, Russia built a facility right next door attached to that building that was like their training facility. The doctors, and then they cut a hole in the wall to get into the building next door where the samples were, and the doctor for this Russian team would sneak in at night through the wall they made, or through the hole in the wall, and he would swap out the dirty samples for good ones. So that's why they kept passing drug tests.
Get out of here,
Bro, then the doctor that was in charge of that team flees to the U.S., so we give him asylum, we put him in witness protection, right? And he dives them out. The other two people who help him run the facility get killed in Russia, totally unconnected, but they're
car
dead.
accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of them on the same day.
Yep, they hit each other. Like, yeah. And so they were banned from the Olympics, but the Russian athletes are so Russia as a country is banned, but that's why they came up with this stupid ass like Russian Olympic Committee team, and they're still smoking everybody.
They're doing good.
Do you think they get cleaned? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they are. They're doing good.
And they're all wearing the Russian colors, so they're not allowed to put the Russian flag, but they're using the flag that they have is like all the Russian colors. Like, we know it's Russia. Like, it's so stupid, bro. But, yeah, everything about I think it's dead, bro.
And I want to say the announcers are actually verbally saying the Russians.
Yeah, because they're Russian, so you
Like,
can't.
I had no idea what the hell was
the
Rock.
people over
and I was
there.
like, who the hell is Rock? And then they were like, oh, that's the Russian team. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but they're not allowed to have Russians. They can't play their national anthem or show their flag or mention Russia.
Right.
It's so stupid, bro. But anyway, like, yeah, I just could care less. I honestly feel like, we were talking about this before. Like, it used to be like an honor to host the Olympics, and you would get like multiple cities would bid to try to get it. They had, for 2024, only 2 cities bid, Paris, LA. And then they had no one bid on it for 2028. So they just gave 2024 to Paris and then gave LA the 2028 one. And then for 2032, which I think this was announced today, it's in Brisbane, Australia. They were the only ones who applied for it.
Yeah.
So they just got it basically by default.
So do you think it's because they
I just don't think we care. I think I don't think we care. I also think cities don't want to. It's expensive and it doesn't pay off. So unless you're a city like LA, makes sense. They already have the facilities, they have the hotel capacity. Logistically, they can handle it. Like, you can do it, right? It's like hosting a Super Bowl. Like, you do it in Jacksonville, it doesn't work. You got to put like cruise ships out there for hotel rooms because you don't have enough rooms for the amount of people to flood your city. So a lot of these places, what they do is they build. Hotels. They build the Olympic Village so that the people can
like
stay
way ahead of time.
Yeah. And then basically after it, they turn them into like condos and stuff like that, like, right?
Okay.
But they have to build like arenas, they have to build pools, they have to build all this stuff, and then figure out what to do. Like, Athens financially never recovered from the Olympics in the early 2000s. So,
well, Greece has never been fucking.
yeah, and then they spent billions and billions of dollars to host these Olympics that they thought would like revitalize Greece because it would bring tourism dollars. I don't think, and then now I think what the pandemic showed, like Tokyo, dude, one of the biggest cities, I think the biggest city population wise in the world, if I'm not mistaken, Tokyo, has already the capacity. So they probably didn't have to build a whole lot of extra. I think they did have to build the Olympic Village, the rooms, but they're like, yeah, we'll turn that into like apartments or whatever afterwards. But they don't get any fans now. And they don't get, so now you don't even get to make up that money because people aren't, you're missing out on the tourism dollars. So I wonder if cities or countries now are just like, yeah, unless we have the capacity. But now luck plays into it because I don't know if there's going to be a pandemic 4 years from now. Like, this was rescheduled from last year.
Right.
So it's technically 2020s. And then they still couldn't have fans because of everything that happened like a week or whatever, the month leading up to, right? In Japan, I couldn't remember what it was, but like their cases went up. So suddenly they axed the whole fan thing. Yeah, I just don't think I don't know. But again, you said you were watching it, but I'm like, I haven't spoken to a single person. You were the first one. Like, it shocked me when you said you're watching it. I haven't spoken to a single person to even mention the Olympics to me. And then I was reading the article about the bids and how they didn't get anyone. And I'm like, man, I wonder if we're just tuned out. Like, I wonder if we just don't care anymore. I think it used to be like, we'll tune in to watch rowing because America was like kicking ass in it and we were all into that. I wonder if like we're just not feeling
mean,
that patriotic at the moment. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know about that, man. I think that like the Michael Phelps is not in it, right? So like, I think we have to build up some names. You know, Simone Biles is obviously really big. You know, like who's the runner that got disqualified?
Oh, Sha'Carri
Richardson,
yep.
right? Like I think people were looking forward to seeing her run, but now she's out of it. So I don't know, like,
is that why?
And I think is who's the guy that beat? Who's the American that actually sort of dethroned the guy from Jamaica?
Bolt.
His name? Bolt.
Yeah, I don't know his name. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen the headline, but
Gatlin. Is it Gatlin?
Was it Gatlin that did it?
I think it was Gatlin that actually finally beat him.
He finally beat him.
Yeah, because Bolt was smoking Gatlin forever, and then finally Gatlin.
Greatest
beat
sports
him.
photo of all time is the Usain Bolt looking.
Oh yeah.
Back. I used to think that was fake. Oh my god, bro, that has to be the greatest sports picture ever taken, bro. Like him looking back, like in the middle. Wasn't it in an Olympics?
Yeah,
we did it. Like, yeah. If you don't know, just Google Usain Bolt looking back at runners. The greatest photo ever taken in a sport ever. I think it's
that's
so
the one that he
crazy.
even slows down at the
yes,
end.
he waits for them. Like and still goes.
Yeah, he slows down,
and I think he still breaks like a record slowing down. He's so that's so stupid. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I thought, but like hearing you, I go maybe it's just me.
Dude, it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see what the ratings are.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see what afterwards, man. And yeah, if you guys hit us up on IG, let us tell me I'm crazy. I just don't know of anybody watching it, man. And I haven't even been interested enough to like flip channel, like even SportsCenter, which is like usually a nightly thing that I would watch just to see like whatever's going on. I haven't even turned that on.
Yeah, because you figure nothing else is on right now.
Yeah, nothing's on. No NBA,
baseball.
no. Yeah, baseball's on, but it's like it's too early. You know, I'll tune into baseball in September. My Yankees are doing terrible, so I'm like, I probably won't even pay attention then. So yeah, I don't know, man. You figure football season will be when I start paying attention again in the next month. When like actually not a month. We're like 2 weeks away, right, from camp. So 2-3 weeks away from football camp. I'm like, I'll start paying attention then. But yeah, nothing about the Olympics. It sucks because there's like the skateboarding thing is new this year and all that, and I really like the X Games. But to me, the X Games is the sport for skateboarding.
For skateboarding, yeah. As a matter of fact, I watched some of the skateboarding.
Oh, so good, man.
No, it was horrible.
Really?
No. Not X Games.
Oh.
In the Olympics.
So
yes,
that makes sense.
They added it to the Olympics, and I was like, oh wow.
It was bad?
Yo, dudes were falling. One of the dudes got his nuts cracked in.
As you do on a skateboard.
Because it's like the event is like, it's not any of the X Games. I think are really cool because even if you're not a skateboarding fan,
you can get into it.
Yeah, like the half pipe stuff is really cool. The what do they call it? The big air.
The big air.
That like all of that stuff is just good. Like it's
even
just,
the BMX. Like the
it's cool. It's cool to watch. But the Olympics are doing like basically skateboarding in like a skate park.
So it's all street, whatever they call it. Not street.
I don't know what they call it.
I think it might be called park or might be vert or whatever they call it. Yeah.
But man, and the people that they had on there, man, I was like, nah, man. I think the good guys are in the X Games. Which, by the way, you seen the 12-year-old kid?
Dude, I happened to have it on during that time when he pulled off the move.
Yeah,
and it was so funny because my son was watching. He's like, what's this? And like their first time seeing like X Games, I'm telling them, they're like, this is cool. And they actually sat there and watched it. My daughter too, like. That kid, man, I was getting a little choked up going, how cool is that you pull that off in front of Tony Hawk, man, who I didn't realize was competing until I saw him in an event like a day or two before that. And it's Tony Hawk's first event in 17 years or X Games? It's almost 20 years. Know. Dude, he's 53.
Yeah?
Tony Hawk's 53. I think he's been out of X Games competitions for almost 20 years. And I don't know why he joined this year.
Well, I think so Tony Hawk, skateboarder, he did the 900, right?
Yes, first person to ever land a 900.
Back in 1999.
Yeah. No.
So, right, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 1999.
Wow, okay.
Lands a 900, which that was a really cool X Games because he made several attempts at it and he failed and he fails. And it's funny, if you watch there's like a video and the video I watched today at like a minute and 50 into it, it's like the run or just before he does the run where he lands it, all of the other skateboarders are around him, kind of giving him like good mojo. Like one guy's behind him going like voodoo shit and like not touching them right, but
and
just
there's people like smacking their boards
on it, yeah. And then he lands it right, and then here we are, 22 years later, this 12-year-old kid does a whole, I guess another half revolution. right? So the
another half. You're right. Because Tony did 2.5. This kid does the full 3.
That's the full 3. 3 evolution.
That's
the
so
3
fucking
spins
hard,
in the air. It's nuts. If you guys haven't seen it, the guy's name is Guy Curry,
Brazilian kid, right?
Brazilian kid from Curitiba, Brazil. Yeah. So spelled G-U-I, and then last name is K-H-U-R-Y. Go check this kid out. I think the first time he landed it was when he was 11. But he landed it now in competition in front of his idol.
Yeah,
essentially.
dude, Tony Hawk, bro. That's
so what an amazing.
I mean, I don't even know what else in sports to compare. That's like landing, like winning a dunk contest in front of MJ, or I don't even know. Yeah, like that's so cool, man. Like I remember watching it, and this kid's just like he couldn't even believe it. He's just like, and he's 12, right? He doesn't even know how to react, right? He's not articulate enough to understand how like crazy that moment is, but his reaction just said it all, like where he's just like, I don't, like, holy shit, kind of like, I can't believe this is happening, and like he was so giddy, and you're just like, how cool is that? And I like how Tony was up there like cheering him on, like it's cool that Tony's always like he I think I heard him on Joe Rogan or whatever a few months back, man, and he's all about like spreading, I guess, the skateboarding and wanting to grow it as a sport and like building.
And he's
skate
been
parks
trying to
and
do
stuff
that,
like that
forever,
man. And he was funny, man. And he goes into the story about how he got into skating and all that, because Tony Hawk isn't like your typical skater guy. Yeah, you're like, he's kind of nerdy, but he's not like the skater back then was kind of like this grungy, like stick it to the man establishment. And Tony Hawk's not that. If you ever hear him talk, he's like the nicest person in the world, right? And then here, like this guy was the nicest person in the world, arguably the greatest skateboarder of all time, or at least the most influential skateboarder of all time, for sure. I mean, I think purists will argue skill level, but no one has had the impact that Tony Hawk has had on skate.
Yeah, he's definitely the Michael Jordan,
of skateboarding. Yeah, there's no, but yeah, dude, the X Games to me more interesting than the Olympics, way more interesting than the Olympics. It like the BMX, I saw the vert jumps with the dirt bikes, the skateboarding, obviously, like that. To me, I was more into that than I was into the Olympics. Like I haven't even watched it, so maybe if I tune into something, I might get sucked in. But
bro, and most of the events in the Olympics I don't watch. However, I did because they have, like I told you, the Roku app has this thing where it's just like, the condensed versions of the medal, right? The medal winning performance or whatever.
Yeah, that's a cool way to watch it, though. That
it is.
Cool, yeah.
So I saw this American that won, and I don't even know. I'm gonna get the name of the event wrong, but it's essentially BB gun. Oh, it's like air rifle.
Oh, air rifle. Okay.
It's a BB gun.
How's that a fucking sport?
I don't know. So I watched it. It's really fucking boring, and it's a BB gun. Like, I'm not impressed.
Again, bro, we trying to make white people feel athletic. Fucking BB gun. Nah, you know what though? We putting a team together for handball. I've been saying this shit for years because handball's in the Olympics.
Yeah, but it's not that handball.
Nah, no, it's a little different. But listen, let me get a couple kids.
It's a lot different, bro.
Let me get a couple kids from the hood. We'll be all right. Let me get a couple kids from round my way in Jersey. We'll be okay.
Yeah. That ain't like up north, El Barrio fucking handball.
I don't know. I feel like there's something we can win a gold medal in. We got to look for that. There's a sport in there somewhere, bro, whether it's curling or fucking air rifle, clearly, or something. I'm like, I'm going to go compete. I just want a bronze. I bet you we could medal in something in the Olympics. This is how unathletic some of these people are. Like, when you're talking about, like, these skiers and all that shit, I'm like, talent, skill level, for sure. Fucking shooting darts, bro, or BB guns, I'm not giving you credit for that, bro.
No. So that was the first time I ever watched that, and that'll be the last. unless my son gets into it.
Bro,
then I'll be all in.
Then you're gonna be all into this BB gun thing, bro. What's the one where the people skate behind each other really fast? It's like cross country skiing, but they're like on rollerblades on snow. I don't even know, bro, and they're just skating
on
like,
snow. On ice.
It might be a Winter Olympics thing.
As it is Winter Olympics.
Where they
it's like speed skating?
It's not speed skating because that's like literally ice skating. But this one is like they're almost. I think it's cross country skiing. They're skiing, but it's like over a course.
Oh,
and like, that's
maybe
so stupid. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know. I can't comment on that. That's not the one that I don't watch.
Even the one where they run and they jump into the sand pit and try to see who can jump the farthest.
Oh my, the long jump, bro.
Yeah,
you don't like that? Dude, I love track and field, man.
What kind of skill does that, bro? Run real fast and jump.
Yeah. Have you? Okay, so here's my thing, and because you know what, my sons and I had this conversation, and they were like, because on TV it doesn't look long, and then I go when one of the guys did a jump, then I took out a measuring tape, and I measured it, dude. It was almost as far as from my front door to my back sliding glass door.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
See, but bro, let me do a couple quads. Let me do a couple squats.
Nope.
Let me train on technique. I'm just not impressed, bro.
You're crazy.
There's some
bro.
shit that you're like, okay, that's kind of like I can't do, right? So obviously I'm not gonna be like, oh, I could jump that.
Dude, you
lane.
couldn't even do half of that.
No, absolutely. I couldn't do a quarter of that, bro, without pulling something. I'll be honest. I'll be the first one to tell you, but that doesn't make it impressive.
So Usain Bolt runs really fast. That's impressive. But if this guy runs really fast and jumps fucking 30 feet, then that's not impressive.
There's a level
It's
of
not 30.
competition.
I'm exaggerating, right?
But no, but it's probably long. It's probably like 20 feet, whatever this guy's jumping.
Yeah, it's
Usain
long,
Bolt
man.
is actively competing against someone there, and there's like the mental thing of that, and there's the like the war, I guess, in that. You know, like I don't know, bro. I'm no sports where you're a single participant. I'm just I'm out. I can't. Just not.
Watch the Olympics,
bro. To be
man.
frisbee throwing and shit in there, I'm like,
Watch the
I
Olympics,
don't know,
man.
bro. Again, we just trying to give out participation medals to everybody who couldn't cut it in like a real sport.
I did see some people, man. When I'm interested in the swimming, and you know, folks that actually won like silver or bronze, be mad, like, just be mad as hell. And I was like, damn, man, you're competing against the best in the world.
Yeah.
If you're top 3, man, you should be happy with that.
Should be
But
happy,
no, man,
right?
not.
Yeah, I mean you should be, but yeah, who knows, man.
Oh well, fuck it.
Fucking hey, man.
We'll see what
Who knows?
happens.
Listen, yeah, hey, listen, drop in. Tell me if I'm completely off. If you guys are all in on the Olympics, I don't know shit. We tend to, I guess, assume because we don't feel this way that everybody must feel this way. But maybe I'm in the minority here, man.
I still like it.
Yeah, fucking hey. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious to see now, man. I'm gonna have to see how the ratings do, because the real shit that we normally follow is later on, right? Isn't it towards the end?
You mean
the
like track and field?
and all
That's
that
coming
stuff.
towards the end.
Like
Yep.
that'll be really telling. If that has really low, the swimming you said already started.
Yep.
Yeah, see, and I don't even know anybody in swimming. I knew the one chick who was
And you
like
know,
dominant.
like Katie Ledecky.
Yeah, I knew her. She was
lost?
like, did she?
I mean, she did medal. But I think
Somebody
she did,
finally beat her because she was smoking people like
like
it wasn't
crazy.
even competitive. Like she would be like done, and people would still be doing the turn on the pool. Like,
I think she still won. Like there's like a long one, like a I don't know, 1500,
800,
like that.
15, oh, geez.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I don't get me wrong. Don't quote me on that one. But then there was another one like the 400 that she lost.
Okay. Wow, see her, and she was so dominant last time that I thought, oh yeah, she'll be the Michael Phelps of like the women's side, where she'll just medal out a bunch of times and no one will beat her. I didn't realize was it Simone Biles that oh no, maybe it was Ledecky had never. God, I saw something like had only ever won gold in every event they've ever taken part in. I thought it was Ledecky.
Oh, maybe.
I saw some highlight like
that's
that. Now that you say that,
that's
I do
over.
remember seeing a highlight that it was like she's never not gotten a gold in every event in the Olympics.
Oh, okay. Well, that if that's her, that's
it's either
over.
her or Biles. I don't know. I remember seeing
It's
some
not.
headline.
It's not
but
Biles, man, because I think that she's
gotten a silver
not-
before
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that. I do
yeah. She's
remember
not-
that.
it's
yeah.
not all gold.
Yeah, so it has to be Ledecky. I swear I saw like either this morning or something. I was scrolling through the news. It was like Ledecky's like gold streak comes to an end or something like that. It was like she had
Oh, okay.
never.
So that's it.
I wonder. Yeah, see, and I didn't even compute that. So you just mentioned it now. Like, oh yeah, Ledecky. That's yeah. I don't know. Let us know. I'd be curious, man. Fucking A. You got anything else?
Nothing that I can't wait. What else you got?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Tell them where they can find us.
Listen, man, shout out to you guys. Thank you for the support. If you're not already following us at the Carbon Footprint Podcast on YouTube, make sure you go over there, hit subscribe, hit likes on some videos, comment. Or we are also at the Carbon Footprint Podcast on Facebook and on IG. Yeah, drop in there. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Is it just Apple Podcasts?
Apple
Yeah,
Podcasts.
Apple
And
Podcasts.
I think
and Podchaser lets you
Podchaser.
also. Yep.
Yep.
So if you guys are on those, man, please go in, leave us a review, and hit us up. And yeah, man, thank you guys.
Yep. And as always, we appreciate you. Appreciate the comments and some of the love on IG. Keep it coming, folks. We appreciate you. See you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.